So I'm like, when I'm doing this, I'm quite literally, in my head, there's a 3D space, and I am moving through the soffit, through the attic space. Like, I'm visualizing the entire thing in my head. The problem is,
they might not be with you on that magic carpet.
You're not there with me. You don't want to be there in my head anyways.
Keep them both in the top.
Welcome back to the Sweaty Boys.
Oh, we're going live?
I don't know.
Is it recording?
It is recording,
oh,
but I
yeah.
just was.
It's going to become
Jokes.
Increasingly sweaty here over the next months, but
yeah,
that's good news for our Midwestern and Northern roofing companies because that means the season is underway.
Yep.
And y'all making that money, that Skrilla, that scratch, that cheddar, that bread.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Balcony Boiz. Yeah, it's episode 2. Take 2.
2B.
2B. We had some technical difficulties last time.
We had to shelve it on the cutting room floor. It was good too.
We have some good bloopers that we can pull from there. We had some fun discussions. Do envy the space and the extra buildings and storage, all that good jazz that comes with an acreage.
Makes it easy to add.
Like, it has to probably match the average height of, like, a U.S. American, which is, like, U.S.
Such as the Iraq. You'll have to go back and find that clip.
I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq.
Yeah. Naming animals is a funny thing.
So Mrs. Weenie was an inherited name.
We're kind of rehashing the same stuff, maybe a little bit different direction, just so we're not repeating ourselves in that regard. But
well, Wyatt, today, I think as I look at my notes, we should probably talk about AI prompting. That's always a hot topic.
That would be a good one. It's definitely relevant. We even hear about it a little bit talking to our customers. Maybe not always in the way that we'd like to have the conversation about it.
As this was fairly recent, I do have Red's red hot take. Regarding that, obviously we have a presentation application for residential roofing companies to sit down with a homeowner and show them what the process will look like from their vehicle pulling in to the roof coming off, new roof going on, cleanup, and the vehicle pulling out. And I hear this occasionally on demos. What are you going to do about AI? Or you charge too much, AI can do this. So, something I should have done a while ago. I tried to have AI. Well, I don't know if I can say this one. ChatGPT. It's in here now. It's going to replace us. This morning had it create a process video.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not very comprehensive. It certainly didn't have a library of 250 plus clips. It was not immersive. It actually made it in an image file. Not a video, even though I requested that. Maybe there's like a level of ChatGPT that I don't have access to when it comes to creating videos. But if that's your game, if it's price based or that's good enough, there's no shame in it. You can run with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely can. It's for sure an option. But it's kind of it's quality. Is what it is. It comes down to. I mean, you're not gonna get any details. AI has a lot of power for sure. I think people get a little excited and dreamy about what it can do, and I think there's a lot that it for sure can do. Like, I'm not trying to sell it short by any means, but I do think that people might overstep of what its current abilities is, especially if you don't have the experience on how to use it.
And prompting is a critical element of that. And I made some notes on best practices for prompting. In fact, your boy last year had applied, but didn't see it through, to take I think it was a 10-week prompting class at the University of Nebraska at Lincoln.
Really?
Still might
I don't think I knew
rekindle that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it sure we'd be relevant.
Yeah, I'm
realize
wondering how comprehensive it can be, but
True.
they'll always take your money.
Yeah.
But yeah, and prompting is obviously critical, because if I type make video, it needs some more guidance. So what I was able to find was some key practices are that you're going to want to be specific. Like, what is the goal with this prompt? Examples are write, analyze, or generate ideas. 2, you want to provide context, location, audience, tone, type of service, if you're trying to, say, market your business.
Yeah.
3, you're going to want to define format. That can be an ad, email, checklist, estimate, script, etc. And the last step for prompting would be ask for alternatives or variations if needed. And I know that at least the big AI service out there will have you further clarify or prompt you to give different inputs.
Yeah, it's limited by what you're able to give it to some extent. Like, if you ask for a very specific thing, that can be really good, but you're only going to get that very specific thing. So that's where you have to know what you're kind of looking for. And like, you start with building blocks of like, go broad, get some ideas, ask for that, different options, and then start narrowing in on something. But because once you kind of start going down that path, something I've experienced is it doesn't really waver too far from that. So you really know you got to know where you're going with it and what you're kind of trying to get out of it.
And we actually used it in a recreational setting fairly recently. Do you remember what that was regarding? A hobby? And finding
golf.
Yeah, club distances.
Yes.
Put in your
you
swing
told me about
speed.
that.
Put in your swing speed and have it build out an average of where your club should end up.
Yeah, you
landing.
put in like your height, weight, age,
Yep.
and like, did you
Swing
put any approximates for like your distances, or did you just say what?
No, I just said build out the distances for a 40-something-year-old.
You the one thing you put in your club head speed.
Yeah, 100.
I think, yeah.
107 miles per hour, give or take.
Yeah.
Between 72 and 160, depending upon whatever spastic motion I'm encountering as an amateur golfer.
Yeah, no, that's great. Speaking of hobbies, I thought it might be a good idea to dive in a little bit about ourselves. We've only done, this is 2B, so we haven't talked too much about ourselves, but I'm Wyatt, and again, this is Ryan. Yeah, I thought maybe if we talked a little bit about where we came from and how we got here and what we do. Where'd you come from? How'd you end up here?
Elkhorn, Nebraska, the town
far.
formerly known as
throw.
before it was gobbled up
Oh, yeah.
by the metro area. Old Elkhorn.
Old Elkhorn. Gotcha.
where-
And that's where you went to grade school, high school? It's where you're born and
No,
raised?
where I went to high school. I went to high school at a Catholic high school.
Oh, okay. In Omaha?
Trying to pay it forward. Yes, Scott Catholic.
Got it.
Home of the Skyhawks.
Nice.
Haven't been back since, but I'm sure there's some good people there. Or
Yeah.
not. I don't know. It's grown a lot.
Siblings?
Nah. Nope, got rid of them early on. Just me.
Oh, yeah, we did touch on that last episode. Just briefly. Sports?
Not well. Golf and hockey.
Golf and hockey. That's a pretty good, solid combo.
Yeah, it's a common one.
It sounds like private school 101.
I think every single NHL player is mandated to play golf
Oh, yeah.
in Phoenix in the off season. Yeah.
Yep.
Or Florida if it's a Wales Wales is Eastern Conference. Campbell is Western Conference. Do they not do that anymore?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that used to be the NHL breakdown for the All-Star game. Campbell versus Wales.
Oh, got you.
So
I don't know that.
Yeah, I think Campbell was West and Wales Conference was East.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my team, the Penguins, are already out golfing, so that's a bummer. But
Did the Avalanche advance? They beat
were
Dallas,
in the first,
didn't they?
They were in the first round, and I will admit that I can't remember if they moved on or not, but I think they did. We'll find out right here.
Yeah.
I'll put it up there. I'm pretty sure it's already done because we're already into the second round of the playoffs. I think pretty fully after last weekend. But yeah, okay, cool. So you did golf. We were talking about that. You still golf, sounds like.
Yeah, again, not well, never as much as I like. I'm also constantly injured, so that can make it a challenge. But with my newfound torn labrum, which has been a delight, makes it really easy to sleep. I went to the shoulder surgeon last week, and he said I can do that. What's ironic is within the very same hospital system, 3 weeks before that, they had given me a sling to keep my arm in, and then he said, "No, don't use that. You'll get too stiff." So I guess we out here.
You're trying different things, I
Back
guess, in the
at
meantime,
it,
huh?
slingless.
Yeah, okay, so after high school, you just straight sales assist? How did you, maybe 2 more stages?
Probably not straight to sales assist, because after high school was 2001.
Oh, okay. Yep, no, that's...
Went to
a few years
college.
ago.
The issue there was that I wasn't going to college, but I was enrolled.
Yep, been there, done that.
Dropped some classes, like nearly all of them. Decided to make it on my way. And this is 2001. You had to have a bachelor's degree, otherwise you were scrubbing toilets.
Sure,
That was
yeah.
the way that it was.
Changed.
Got embarrassed that I didn't have a degree, because my bestie messaged me on a Saturday, or called me excited that he had just gotten into law school. And I was like, I can't let him lap me. So I filled out financial aid form, decided that was way too long of a process and difficult, so I started going back to school on my own dime, and then ultimately graduated on the dean's list because I was paying for it.
Yeah.
Making $18 an hour, paying $350 a credit hour to a private school.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
Sure changes your perspective.
So a proud owner of a useless bachelor's degree from Nebraska Wesleyan. Go P Wolves. I think that's what they do. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah. So you went to college, moved into sales.
Yeah. I worked, start with retail, like most do. Was awful at it. Was a grumpy drunk. Was mean. Fortunately, I haven't had a drink in 14 years, I believe, last month. But, I was really good at it, but I decided it's probably not for me. So I was allergic, break out in handcuffs every time.
Yeah.
Worked for 19 years off and on. Worked with my dad for 5 years in kind of a wholesale role, filling in the gaps for manufacturers where a Walmart didn't exist. So usually towns of 7,000 or fewer people, you had these little companies like Pomida, Duckwall Alco out of Abilene, Kansas. There's Lewis Drug up in your neck of the woods. They had 30 some odd stores.
Plenty of drug stores where I come from.
And then so manufacturers would pay these little rep groups, which have gone the way of the dodo, to come in and fill that gap of a direct buyer within the, or a direct salesperson within the manufacturing company, hire a rep group for a certain percent to get a product into one of those smaller stores. And then, Duckwall Alco and Pomida disappeared probably 2014. And that's just we've gone so heavy online. We've gone.
Oh yeah.
Walmart and Target own the retail game for brick and mortar.
Yeah, pick up pharmacy, super easy at a local Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, so the world has changed dramatically. I ended up randomly enlisting in the Guard, the National Guard, and so that has consumed 8 years of my life. Did that at the maximum age of 30. I shipped to basic training at 35 years old, and commissioned as an officer, went through OCS, which is a treat. And that's coming to an end. So they thank me for my service.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, you bet. It's a cycle, isn't it? Well, good. Okay, cool. And then after that, I think you got in contact with some people and you kind of found your way to sales assistant.
Yeah,
right?
Due to some health challenges that might be related to the prior statement. I need a little bit of leeway on my mornings due to rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and severe advanced osteoarthritis. Mornings are extremely difficult to me, so I was able to find this place due to some networking and some good folks.
Yeah.
And now
Happy
we
to
share
have
an
you.
office.
Yeah, yes we do.
Oh, and then I guess there's another part
with bunk beds.
There's so much room for activities. I guess probably the most important part: wife, 3 dogs, 4 cats, and 13 chickens.
It's a farmhouse, man. That's a lot. That's most of those are in your house as well.
That was
just
from this morning.
Oh yeah, is that your youngest?
He was chasing the oldest, and
gotcha.
I kind of came to. It was about 5:05 in the morning as I'm laying on the couch due to the shoulder injury. I heard something crash in another room, and before I could blink, there were 3 black flashes running through my new bedroom / living room, and I was bleeding.
Nice. That's a great way to wake up.
Yeah, it was a good. How do you do?
Yeah. Different 5 a.m.s for us, but yeah, it's good. I've got 3 girls, and one of them, the youngest, who's only 10 months, she decided she didn't want to stay in bed this morning. So,
well, I was going to ask you about your life, but since you're already spilling the beans, go ahead.
Sorry.
This won't need any prompting.
I can't help but talk about
AI
myself,
or not.
So,
please.
Yeah, I came from a small town up in South Dakota. I bounced around when I was younger through a few different towns, but I landed in Faith, South Dakota.
Good people up there.
Shout out Faith. Yeah, they're all right.
Look at your native son now.
Here I am.
He's got a podcast with
Here
2
I am.
viewers.
Yeah, it's great. It's me and you. Yeah, we're watching it.
We're the
hey,
viewers.
We had at least 35.
I've been meaning to get around to it to watch the first
That was the
episode.
last time I've seen
I
it.
have been busy.
Yeah. So, anyways, small town, population no more than a couple hundred. I had a big class of 22, graduating class, which that was big. Next
Where did
class,
you rank in the graduating class?
Oh, like bottom half probably. I don't know. I was a very average. I was a very like B average student.
Top 25% is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'd say very average.
Top 75% if I do
Enough
my
to
math.
where I got into engineering college. So that was
A good one.
yeah,
An expensive
I mean,
one.
when you're in state, I feel like it's kind of a shoo-in to get just about anywhere you want. But yeah, School of Mines in South Dakota. Went there after high school. Did it for about 2 years. Realized math wasn't really my favorite. Mostly, kind of like you said, where it's like I was enrolled, but I wasn't really going to college. I was there for the experiences and having fun, and I did find my wife there. So if anything, that was the best outcome possible.
Life be like that.
But yeah, I think I just realized that it wasn't quite what I was hoping for. I'm very creative naturally.
That's a fact.
That is kind of my background. I thought I could maybe be a little more creative, and I kind of was starting to see that it wasn't as open to that as I would have liked. But
And the good news for the good administrators at the South Dakota School of Mines was they had a lengthy list of like 7 more recently graduated South Dakota high school seniors that they could backfill into that position from the very next class.
you're not wrong.
There could have been 9 of them.
Yeah,
It was,
definitely. Yeah, there was a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Trepidation.
Definitely a little bit of sadness when I had to submit myself to being a statistic of being like a dropout. Like they have a pretty high dropout rate at School of Mines.
I would think so.
Not
It's
many of
challenging.
the 500 in my initial freshman class were actually going to graduate, but my wife did, so kudos to her. When she graduated, we moved down to Omaha, Nebraska here. I bounced around. I was working at some golf courses. I grew up on a ranch, so I really enjoyed doing the grounds crew job and being outside and driving heavy machinery. Also like golf. It got me into golf actually, and I also self-taught. Not great, but have fun. Then yeah, kind of moseyed my way through some other jobs and found an opportunity at Moose Roofing, and that kind of developed into the job that I have now at Sales Assist.
Good folks at Moose Roofing. We like them a lot.
Great people there. They allow us to use their balcony, so that's
Tremendous customer.
great customer.
The best. Believe me. Nobody. That was terrible, Trump. There's nobody. I'll stop.
No,
Believe me.
No, one more time.
Moose Roofing. The best. I don't know what. I put like an Italian.
Yeah,
Beppity boopity. Have you
I don't know
noticed?
if I could do it, Trump. I feel like I've accidentally. You got to talk like
Yeah,
this.
it's
They're
tremendous.
The best. They're the best. There's
Moose
nobody
Roofing and
better.
Sales Assist. It's tremendous.
I don't think I've ever done a Trump impression, but I don't think that was actually too bad.
No, it wasn't. That was really good. You'll never find a better combination.
Yeah, that was good. You got there eventually.
Why does every influencer on LinkedIn talk like this when they're making points? They put their hands together. There's some new feature in the app where there's
like
5 videos, and it's all like 19-year-old young ladies that have CEO in their profile, and they're talking like this, giving you points. They clasp their fingers like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Universally, you
I
will
don't know
find
what
it now.
that is. They're just like, I don't know, like an interactive kind of. I don't know. What
Somebody
that would do.
started it somewhere. And
Just
then
like
it caught
they got
fire.
like beer pong muscle memory, just like stuck or something from the college you went to.
It's probably from running those Fortune 500s that they have in their bio that they're just. Believe me, when you're doing $500 billion of revenue annually as a 23-year-old influencer, you're going to learn to talk like this. It's very powerful.
Oh, that's great. I mean, it's good. People like to talk with their hands.
They do.
That's what we like to say. We know it's true.
Do roofers ever talk
Calling-
with their hands when they're presenting to a homeowner?
Calling out all you roofers. Yeah, no, it's a natural thing. I mean, I'm doing it. I think we're taught that it's a good thing. It's engaging.
It is engaging.
But I think also, when people can't quite express what they're trying to describe, they tend to start trying to make shapes with their hands or try to
Point to different aspects.
try to move through the attic space with their hands. Try to,
Sure.
So I mean, small little shameless plug, but Sales Assist can kind of help with that problem.
You're showing off ventilation to Ben and Sally over there, and you're pointing at their soffit vents and explaining air is going to come in through there. You're drawing pictures. You might, let's say you go to YouTube and find a manufacturer's brief video and you have to wait for YouTube to load, and then they're like, okay, let's go. If only there were an application that had all that ready to go for you, and a gorgeous 3+ minute video that you're able to skip through showing that airflow.
Oh yeah,
And
that would be
ventilation.
great. That would be, man.
We should get to work on that. Let's see if we can build one.
No, we. I don't know. I had a thought there. I lost it.
Don't do it.
Sorry.
Don't. It's dangerous. Live my
Yeah,
life
no, I
a
was
quarter
going to
mile
say
at a
that.
time.
I think a problem with that is, for me personally, when I'm thinking of something and I'm using my hands, I'm there visually in my head.
You're an artist. You're good at that.
So I'm like, when I'm doing this, I'm quite literally in my head. There's a 3D space, and I am moving through the soffit, through the attic space. Like, I'm visualizing the entire thing in my head. The problem is,
They might
you
not be
don't
with
see
you on
that.
that magic carpet.
you're not there with me. You don't want to be there in my head, anyways. That's not good. But
Why, it's rickshaw? Is that the thing that the people drag tourists behind? Rickshaw?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Rickshaw. Put a rickshaw right here. I need a.
Why it's
It's getting hot up here.
alliteration. Boy, it is toasty, and we're just getting started.
It doesn't help that we got these. It's a dark little corner up here, and we've just got these lights just 2 feet from our face. They're putting off heat too. It also, we're up in a mezzanine. We're up in a mezzanine, and well, we know that heat rises. That's why we're up here. We're bringing the heat.
Yeah, I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna have. This is like one of the worst shirts. I feel like it's a sweat stain shirt for sure.
I feel like I've got them too.
Yeah.
Usually fairly smelly.
The heather's nice. I feel like the heather can
It
hide
is
a
not
little
nice
bit.
for me. It doesn't hide much. It just looks like it was painted on me. I'm not ready to make the transition to extra larges.
I feel like.
Like to be
I
too
mean,
big
at
in the
least you're
body.
fit. Like that helps.
I am a shape. A shape.
You're a shape.
It's a
but
pear
It,
with skinny legs.
I feel like I'm with you though. We've talked about this before. We're about the same height, about the same build. I mean, I would say you're in better fitness than I am, but we've both talked about, like the large conundrum of the shirts. It's just like, okay, maybe they're the right length, but the sleeves are too short, or they're like too short this way, and the longs are. I don't
Short
know.
sleeves are a constant issue.
They just don't. They just don't make it like that, or the body's super tight and everything else is okay. There's just, I mean, I know it's a size thing for everybody across the board, but yeah, the larges, when you go to an extra large, Or if you're going to double XL, I feel like it's just such a big jump.
It is, and there's no free lunch. That's for business or apparel. When I first got ill after being reasonably fit 6 years ago, I dropped to like 151 pounds. That's pretty narrow.
That is a light build
for
on you,
my
McCoy.
height. Yeah.
You must have been looking pretty trim.
Yeah, like I could fit into my wife's extra small.
Yeah.
Size ones.
Were you wearing mediums?
I could have, but my pride told me not to, and my wardrobe had already been dictated with larges.
Sure, fair enough.
Now I feel like the transition to XL might be coming.
Totally. I'm right there with you. I feel you. I think it'd be a comfortable thing to switch.
We both are fans of shopping in like Costco. I mean, you're in dad mode anyways, and I'm
100%.
working on that. So
sorry to cut you off. I didn't mention my family earlier. I feel really bad now that I'm bringing it up.
Oh, you did. You just didn't go into it. Yeah,
wife and 3 kids and Neil. Sorry, my corgi. Anyways, go ahead.
Neil's 6. He's a good boy. He's got a lot of estrogen coursing through that house, though, so he could use.
Another guy is helpful to have around. Some male energy. But anyway, we were talking Costco shopping, Dad. Sorry.
Well,
cut you off.
There's so much. Like, you can't get anything off the rack. The longest pants that they have there, if you're lucky, are going to be like 36 34s.
Yes. Oh, it's so bad.
And a 36 on me looks like a hula hoop.
Yes. Trying to find a 34 34 or a 32 34 is 32 34 is almost impossible.
If I see 32 36 anywhere, I buy it. I don't care what it is.
It's going in the cart for sure. No, I'm not out shopping for clothes much, but only out of necessity mostly, or if my wife's grabbing things for me because she thinks this shirt, actually, she did that. That was,
Good job, Miss Jessica.
Yeah, she does good things.
But the give and take of that is if somebody does have to wear those 40-28 pants that they have at Costco predominantly lining the aisles, when they step out into a minute and a half of sunshine, they don't turn into a lobster. So, again, no free lunch.
Yeah,
I've not been blessed.
Yeah, I do have the ability to tan. I've just got a permanent farmer's tan as well. I did not treat my body well when I was in high school and college. I would just be outside just baking, no sunscreen.
I seen it.
It was bad news. I got probably as dark as your, I don't know. I was going to say as dark as your cactus, but there were some photos where it got really bad and not great forethought there.
Taught you a lot. And you did some roofing in your time.
I did do a little bit of roofing. Yep. In high school, towards my latter years, I found this just general contractor, but he did mostly roofing projects. Larry, he was a good old carpenter. He was good for me. I needed a teacher at that age, somebody who wasn't my dad, because I wasn't listening to my dad very much at that age, unfortunately, just because you're turning 18, 19, 20, you don't want to listen to your parents anymore. But he was there for me, and he was a good boss and a good carpenter. We did a lot of, mostly he didn't like doing shingles, so we would do metal roofing, exposed fastener metal roofing. I worked with him one summer or a couple summers, and then went to college. Once I dropped out, I came back. I did another year with him. But
maybe we should create some open fastener assets for the good people, not just of the Faith Dakota greater metropolitan area, but maybe our friends in Canada that we've been so fortunate to have come along.
Yeah, no, that's on the docket. We've got a long list of things we'd love to animate, and that's one that I think we're going to try to push through because we've had some people request it. So
what else is on the docket? Gutters?
Yeah, we have a little more specific videos on gutters. We have some window tear out, install, replacement, siding.
Like the skylight.
Yeah, like skylight. And then we have siding, and the siding and the windows go together a little bit, but they can be separate as well.
I didn't know the siding was coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, siding
always the last to know. Good. That'll make my job easier.
Yeah, but they're in works. We kind of had to put a little pause on pushing some things, but I don't know if we want to dig into that or not.
Okay, we can do that next week.
Yeah, maybe we got something brewing. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it next episode a little bit. A little teaser. Something to get you back, all 30 of you. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about today, or are you about done sweating it out? I think I've burned about 500 calories up here.
Yeah, so a customer in Texas just texted me, so I think I best go and respond to them.
Oh yeah, that's somebody we should get back to. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for sitting up here with us, hanging out up in the mezzanine. Mezzanine.
It can all sound very... Those two letters are right by each other in the American alphabet.
That doesn't happen often.
Neil, Dad's coming home soon. Floppy Mike.
Fluffy.
But yeah,
All right.
we're grateful to have you tag along. It's only going to get better. Obviously, it has to. But thank you to all 30 of you. Balcony Boiz.
Subscribe. Stay tuned for next time. We got some big news coming. So
it's true. It really is big news.
yeah. Balcony Boiz out.